So today is Sunday, February 11th. It is 5:16 p.m. And then if you guys can confirm that I have reviewed with you everything, just say yes or agree.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, thank you. So first, I'm going to collect some background data about the both of you. So please help me with these items. So, Papa, will you tell me your age, please?
68.
Okay. And how would you describe your race or ethnicity?
Say that again?
How would you describe your race or ethnicity?
Hispanic, Mexican American.
Okay, perfect. Are you married or in a committed relationship?
Married for 50 years.
Which term describes your relationship with your daughter? Biological father, adoptive father, or stepfather?
Biological father.
How many children do you have? Sons?
2 sons, 1 daughter.
Where does your daughter place in the birth of your children?
She was the first.
Okay, now, Mom, this is going to go to you. What is your age?
49.
How would you describe your race or ethnicity?
Hispanic, Mexican American.
How would you identify your gender? Male, female, other?
Female.
Has your gender identification ever changed?
No.
Okay, so I am going to now kind of get into your guys' history. So question 1, please describe your earliest positive memory of each other. Whoever wants to go first can go ahead.
The earliest is when she was coming out of her mom's womb.
Perfect. And then, Mom, what was your earliest positive memory?
Earliest?
Yes.
I think the early memory I recall is going to the park, having a picnic.
Okay. What was, for Grandpa, what was it like when she was born?
It was a miracle for me to see her. She was so tiny, and it was awesome.
Okay. Very cool. Mom, what was it like going to the park and having that picnic with Papa?
I just remember it being fun, taking our bikes, picking up wieners to pull, going on the slides, and I just remember being happy times with my younger brother and my parents.
Very cool. Okay, and then whoever wants to go first, tell me a bit about you and your family situation and how is it different now than in the past?
Well, I grew up without a father. My mom raised my family, my siblings, and I on her own. We were raised in Los Angeles, and we were poor, but we didn't know we were poor because everybody else in the neighborhood was the same way. So, totally different now. What else do you need to know? How's it different?
Yeah, how's it different from the life you're living now with your family situation?
Oh, it's quite different. You know, I was able to get an education and improve my
my lifestyle quite a bit. So it's been a big change, quite a bit for the better.
Very good. Okay, Mom, tell me a little bit about you and your family situation and how it's different now than in the past.
Meaning like from child to now, or my own personal family?
It can be it can be your family with your siblings, or it can be the family you have now and how it used to be and how it's different now.
Well, I just know that growing up, my dad always ensured that I was going to get a good education and constantly push that and push good grades and reading homework. So it prepared me for pursuing a master's degree and being able to get a good job and be self-sufficient. And it's allowed me and my family to have a decent life, be comfortable, and be able to provide for my own kids.
Very cool. Thank you. Okay, so the next question is, do you think your relationship is similar or different from other father-daughter relationships? And if so, how?
Hard to tell because I don't know other intricacies of other father-daughter relationship. I can just say that to me, having a daughter was special. We have a special bond, I think, that a father and daughter develop as the years go by. And it's hard to say how other father-daughters relationships are, but I would say, looking at you and your dad, he has a similar bond with you.
Very true. I agree to that. Mom, how do you think your relationship with your dad is similar or different to other relationships that are the same?
Well, knowing a lot of my friends, I feel like I spend a lot more time with not just my dad, but both my parents. Not a lot of our friends will go to their own vacations, go to their own family time. They'll get together with the family during holidays. But my family situation has been more part of their life and activities. And, not all the grandparents will support the mind of their children or the grandchildren. And so my parents have been very involved in my own life. So I think that there's just the bond kind of be a little bit closer than I think most spouses does, but the time to be together.
Perfect. Very cool. Okay. So one thing I have to say about relationship turning points is that they are important and memorable changes in the closeness of a relationship. These are the times in the whole history of the parenting relationship when one or both of you remember feeling closer or more distant from each other. Turning points can involve positive or negative changes in your relationship. Some involve specific life events and others cover long periods of time. For this part of the interview, I'm going to ask you to think about your relationship from its very beginning and to the current moment. We're going to use this timeline that I have to make a list of the turning points in your relationship. As you can see, the bottom of the timeline depicts the age of son/daughter, so it's going to be daughter for this case, from birth until now. The left side of the graph measures the amount of closeness you felt at that time between the two of you. It can range from 0 to no closeness to 100% as close as we could possibly be. At the midpoint, 50% is the average amount of closeness you have felt in your relationship. So right now I'm going to have you take a few minutes to think about your whole relationship and the times it has become or less close. There are no right or wrong answers. These are just your own memories and feelings about your relationship, and it is possible that the two of you have felt different memories. So I will pause for a bit, and you can take turns sharing your turning points in your life that you remember. And we'll start with the earliest turning points and then move forward to now. So whenever, Papa, you're ready, then we'll go with your first turning point that you remember, and then we'll do the same for you, Mom.
Okay, the closest point that was very special for me is when your mom and Brian, your dad, got married. That was a very close moment in my life that I always keep in the back of my mind. And also, the birth of each of you and your siblings was also special times of closeness. I thought that were at their peak. When we spend time together with your mom and dad and you guys, those are always, to me, high points in my life that I cherish.
Okay, do you have any turning points that you remember that were closer to the birth of your daughter? Or even some that were maybe more around the average percent of closeness, or even times where you haven't felt as close, where sometimes there may have been a time where you drifted?
Well, I think when your mom was born, I was young, and that was pretty special. Like I said, I was only 19 years old at the time, and it was a miracle for me to see her be born. And it happened all of a sudden, too. She found out on the way to the hospital. She was already coming out. She had a lot of hair, and I always remember that. And but also, when you were born, that was also right up there, as close, because being a grandparent was a new chapter for Mom and I, and one that was very special.
Okay. Moms, go ahead, go from your earliest memories of any good moments to the present, with some distant times, very positive, close times, and some average times.
Hard to recall very early memory as far as little, but I think growing up, especially being a teenager, I think was the time I stopped real close. My dad was very strict and had high expectations. Being a teenager, don't always really understand them. And once we our household was one where you didn't ask questions. It was, dad makes the whole decision. So I think when I was growing up, I remember times that were tough, where I maybe didn't feel as close. But then I would have to keep it also as I got older, going to school, and accomplishing my goals, and then definitely getting married in time where we came full circle, where it was more of more communication, a close relationship, and then getting engagement, as you said, with each one of my peers, and being involved in their life.
Okay. What was that last one that you said?
With my kids being born,
Oh, okay.
it increased after that as well. And then I think another moment where the deepest the relationship is through my dad had his accident and we almost lost him. That was a tragic time in our lives, but really hoping everybody dies. I appreciate that because I have my thoughts.
Okay, thank you. Give me one moment.
Trying to make me cry. I should have taken 73.
Okay.
Get on the phone.
Okay, so now I'm going to go back. We're going to go back with all the different turning points that we talked about. And I'm going to have you answer some questions that go with each of those moments that you guys mentioned. So I'm going to start with you, Papa, having being at a young age and having a child at 19. If you can remember what was happening at this time of this turning point for you.
Well, it was, I found myself with a lot of responsibility now that I have a wife and a child. So it made me buckle down and try to formulate some kind of career. And I was fortunate to get a scholarship to go to electronic technician school and control data. And it was a time when the computer industry was in its infancy. And I was able to get a good education. So it just made me more determined to get a good job, which you did.
Very cool. And this was a moment where you felt a little bit mediocre on the relationship part. You were kind of very excited to have your first kid, but at this moment you also were very young and kind of just getting your life started. So would you feel, so you felt more closer or more distant?
I would say that I was always close to your mom, but I was also focused and determined to improve my situation as far as economically.
Mm-hmm.
Because as I said, I came from a very poor family, and there was times when I was going to school that I didn't have enough money to buy milk
Mm-hmm.
for your mom. So it made me more determined.
Very cool. Is there anything else that you would like to say about this time in your relationship, or is that pretty much everything?
That's pretty much everything. You know, I know becoming a father made me want to give my kids what I never had,
Mm-hmm.
and that was an opportunity to go to college. And I think I accomplished that goal.
Okay, very cool. Okay, Mom, let's go to your moment of growing up and having strict parents, and kind of not being able to, make your own rules. Do you remember what was happening at this time of this point?
Yes, there's the so, I'm sorry, repeat it?
The moment when you were growing up, kind of having strict parents and not being able to make your own rules, what was happening at this time of this turning point?
Well, I mean, I think, of course, I was like an adolescent, so going through my own, physical changes and emotional changes, but I think at the time I felt like I wasn't understood, I wasn't heard. So at times I felt lonely or sad, but I think it's part of growing up when you're younger and you don't feel like you can relate to your parents or they can relate to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I think it was just there was always high expectations of, now that I'm older, I understand those are, I understand the reasons for those, but when you're younger, that's not good. So it's kind of a confusing time in your life.
Okay, perfect. Is there anything else you'd like to say about this time in your relationship?
About what?
About this time in your relationship?
About that time?
What else would you like to say about this time of growing up?
It was just about that time, but like I said, it was just, I think it's difficult. And challenging at times, but I always grew up to just respect your parents and do what you're told, and that's kind of the generation I grew up in. You didn't really voice your opinion, and so growing up and going to college, and then of course being in a major where it's all about family and communication and child development. I learned a lot about myself and about my family and who I am and how that's shaped who I am.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to the high point of you, Papa, of your daughter being married and that whole point of time. What was happening for you at this turning point?
You mean as far as the relationship with my daughter, or what exactly are you referring to?
Just like at your moment in life, what was happening around the time when your daughter was going to get married and that whole event?
Oh, it was an exciting time. We were never had experienced anything like that, and it was everything was new, and we wanted to make sure it was going to be a great wedding, and all our friends and family would see how proud we are of our daughter, and we try to make it a special occasion, which I still to this day think it was. It is, and it was fun. It was great. It was really good, and see all the family come together, all the friends and family, and celebrate mom and dad's marriage.
Okay, very cool. What else do you have anything else you'd like to say about this time in your relationship?
I thought it was probably again one of the closest times that you feel like you're losing your daughter, but at the same time I was gaining a son.
Very cool.
It was a mixed time, but a happy time.
Mhm. Awesome. Okay, Mom, let's go to a 50% closeness time, the turning point of you becoming your own person and like growing closer as you got to be your own self.
Well, I think when I I've always worked around 16, so that's just kind of one of those expectations and the things that what is instilled in me is be responsible and I was always earning money and starting to provide little things for myself as I prepared to college and getting married when it all shifted.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now we're going to move on to kind of almost the present. We talked about for Papa the birth of grandchildren and the fact that you were becoming a parent. The birth of grandchildren being a very high point in as in closeness of your guys' relationship, and becoming a grandparent in kind of a mediocre time. What was happening at this time of this turning point of your daughter soon to be having children?
Yeah, what time again? And the answer?
The birth of grandchildren and then the fact of becoming a grandparent.
Yeah, I mean, no.